All right, Thunder fans, Travis Lonix here, post game with Thunder manager Sean Chacon after game one of the series for State College Spikes. This weekend, tough 9-1 loss here in game one. Got down early big, got no hit through six, losing the game 9-1. Get to, early thoughts on tonight's game, first game in the series. Before we get to the last couple games, we'll recap as well.
Tonight was tough. The starting pitching sets the tone, always. And Gavin King came out tonight with, not being his usual self. It's one of those days where he just didn't have stuff. And him being a younger pitcher, it's something that he had to go through to realize, it doesn't matter if you have good stuff or not. You have to compete, and you have to learn how to pitch on days like today. So that kind of set us back, and set the tone for the game. Then you got to give credit to their pitcher, Webb. He was dominant as far as, getting us out, hitting us off balance, no hit. Was it through six?
Through six.
Yeah.
Went into seventh, finally got your first hit.
Yeah, and honestly, he looked great. And, against our lineup, too, that's tough. We started some of the younger guys early, but, he definitely deserves all the credit. We couldn't get anything going, and that happens. For us, the frustrating part is, the pitching part. You don't want to struggle. You don't want to see pitchers struggle, but that kind of happens in baseball. So we'll wash it off, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, just command, control, 5 walks for Gavin first inning.
Yeah, that's unlike him, and you could just see the way he's moving around the mound that he just wasn't comfortable. And the talk when he came in after the first inning was, okay, kid, you don't have your best stuff, but guess what? You got to nut up and you got to compete. And that's what it comes down to. They say in the big leagues, if you pitched in 30 games, as a starter or reliever, you might feel great, a third of them if you're lucky. The rest of them you're feeling okay, and then another third of them, you feel like the worst. But that's the way it is. So it's just kind of a learned lesson for him. I think that he obviously took it well, and throughout the rest of the game, he was in it and still supported his team. So you got to give him credit there too.
Yeah, it's awesome. And mention their starter Davis Webb, no hitter through six and third, 2 hits, run, 2 lost 8 Ks, southpaw left-handed pitcher. Wasn't overpowering velocity, but mixed up the pitch as well, getting you guys off balance.
Yeah, he kept guys off balance. He has some deception. He's a big kid, so he commanded the zone. And again, he didn't walk. I don't know. He only maybe had a couple walks. He attacked the zone. Our team, our hitters, they swing the bat, right? So they're on attack mode, and sometimes you get games like that where you run into a guy who just has your numbers. So, for me, that's a one-off for the hitters. Us getting no hit into the 7th, that's, we knew, we weren't going to get no hit. But also, you have games like this again, so you can reset, refocus. But I fully expect tomorrow, the bats will be alive again.
Yeah, guys, Potterneck, Stevens coming up. Potterneck broke no hitter, Juju base as well. These guys there coming through.
The guys there that are always there, And again, a baseball, right? You can't have 3 for 3s, 2 for 3s, 3 for 4s every night. Even the best hitters break up a no hitter. That's huge. It's a huge thing, and it doesn't. We lost the game, but for Jacob Potterneck, again, that just shows the mental fortitude. Again, coming in, been beat, but if there's a guy breaking up, it's him. So Juju coming off the bench, right? Sliding the DH as a pinch hitter and gets a knock. It's just, those little characteristics of guys that are able to come in and still get the job done, so to speak. It's a credit to him.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, one off, the offense side of the ball tonight, and then obviously pitching-wise get down 6-1 after 2 innings. But then you get 4 straight squirrels from the bullpen there to keep you guys in the game. How big was that?
It was big. And again, our bullpen has done that. They've picked up, where the starters may have been struggling a lot, and they've done it a lot in the last couple weeks. Some bright spots, Clayton Johnson, although he gave up, the home run, he was good. And just for him to have, an outing like that first inning that he came in and threw, and he was, he was dominant. His fastball was up there. He was throwing strikes, and that's something for Clayton. We're trying to get him, to a point where he can do that more consistently. And then the other guys, obviously, Carver came in and did an outstanding job. We extended him a little more than we wanted to, but he stepped up to the plate and did it. Andrew Roney, again, he's there every time we need him. It would have been a day where we would have liked to give him off, but he said he was ready to help, and he came in and he dominated his inning. Bozzie Smith gave up a couple bleeders, which, that baseball, and he's laughing about it after because he understands it, but, there's plays that weren't made. And as we go as our team, we're not a team that can afford to make mistakes on the field. We make plays, and, it was one of those games where we didn't pitch too well. Our defense was, it was not as good as we wanted to, but I'm glad it happened all in one game because we can move on from it. Then lastly, Weaver came in and he showed some really strong stuff too. So again, we take away, what we can from it. We know the bad part was the pitching part. The defense obviously has to be good every game, but again, baseball, another day tomorrow. So we expect to be back ready and focused and our best game played tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I just want to go back. Mine talked after the win Tuesday night over Horny Valley, game 1 at Sirius, and you guys lost Wednesday night. Took the rubber game last night. Wednesday, 6-4 final score. I got beginning in the third for Scrappers, 5 runs. Got a difference in that game. I guess Caden Spivey got a start. Came out in that third inning. Talk about this.
Caden Spivey, it was his last start. He got a little fatigued. So what happened in the third, he got fatigued. He tried to overthrow. A 2-out walk is what led to it all with Caden that inning. So, as a manager and a pitching coach, you're like, leadoff walks and 2-out walks. 2-out walks are the enemy, so that night was a big lesson. 2-out walk led to 5 runs, again. But again, the bullpen came in, shut it down. The offense came alive, just as our team is and goes. We came up short, but we were able to take momentum from that, right, and come out and win the series last night. And so baseball, again, you win 2 out of 3. Tonight we lost, but there's 2 more games, 2 more chances. Obviously to win them both, we win the series. So that's what we expect to do.
How about Juju's home run in that game?
Yeah. Juju hasn't had a lot of at-bats in his college career. So you're seeing a kid that with very little experience showing some real talent at the plate. First home run, his power numbers, he's been hitting the ball hard all over the place. So again, the kid is going to be a player who you follow because the more experience he gets, the better he'll get.
And then I want to touch on, we haven't talked about, he's gone, I believe, Eddie Smink, right-handed pitcher, committed to Pitt last couple of days. Had a great season here for you guys, 10 innings pitched, he threw 5 hits, 1 run, 7 walks, 7 Ks, ERA less than 1.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Smink, sad to see him go, but I think he threw a lot of innings at school. He did well here. He showed well here. He started to get a little fatigued. But yeah, man, what a competitor. And we had a little shout out to him yesterday before he left in the clubhouse, and everybody loves him, So Eddie's a great kid. He's got great stuff. I look forward to seeing what happens with him. I know he just signed, to go to Pitt, so we'll be following his career too. But yeah, Eddie Smink represented well for himself.
It's awesome. Quickly on a rubber game last night, 7-4 win, rain shortened 7-inning game, over an hour delay, I believe. But scored 4 runs at the first inning after Honey Valley got ahead by 1. Drew Aberdessa, talked to him. He grinded those 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 5 walks, Ks. He told me exactly that, just grinded through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't have his best stuff either. Coming off, a shaky-ish start to a Williamsport. We saw progress, though, from the start before to last night. And again, this is the period of time that we tell guys, hey, you're not going to have your beginning of the season stuff. We're approaching the dog days of summer too. So for a lot of guys, they're looking at the radar gun or they're looking at their stuff, and it's not the way they are used to seeing it or feeling it. And the lesson there is that they're being forced to learn how to pitch when they don't have their ace stuff, just like Gavin tonight. Last night, Jude grinded through high stress 80 pitches, 4 innings, and wanted to go back out for the 5th. But, as a coach, as a pitching coach, those stressful innings, they're hard on the body and they're hard on you. So we were proud of him, and him doing that, it was, kept us in the game. Obviously, we bounced back with that 4th spot, but him minimizing the damage in the first of 1 run was huge. And we were able to obviously hang on through the rain delay. You know, those games are always screwy. You have control of a game, and you go into rain delay, and the stuff tends to
good.
flip. And last night we were like, oh my God, okay, we're gonna get through 7, and thankfully we did to win the series.
I was following it. So Bonet come in there.
Yeah,
close it
Bonet
out.
came in lights out again, and he's another one that's, you know, he's wrapping his draft league season up too. But I'll tell you what, man, he's made a name for himself, and you know, I look forward to seeing him at hopefully these last couple games, one for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Until last night, offensively, you had Sully coming through. Big night for him, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and for Osmond, the bottom order, 7-8 hitters, big time there.
Yeah, they listen. They're pro hitters for Osmond and definitely Sullivan. Like he's under the radar, become one of the best hitters in this league. And I don't say become, but it's becoming noticed. He's definitely one of the top catchers. That's another reason why he'll be probably starting in this exhibition game. But he's just he's a professional hitter. You watch his batting practice, and you can see why. And I always point to him for the younger hitters. I'm like, watch Sullivan take batting practice. Line drives up the middle. Line drives off the L screen. And that translates to, I don't know, he's got, a 380 batting average or something.
Something like
So, you know, the proof is in the pudding there.
It's awesome. And quickly here, again, recapping. Tonight, 9-1 loss. We said, flush it right, message to the team. Simply that, right? New game tomorrow. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you come out and you play this game, and the other teams are good too. You know, other players are good too. They have nights too. You don't want to see it get out of hand like that. But again, the way that it happens, right, you can pinpoint exactly why. Walks, okay, a couple plays not made, an error, whatever, here and there. And then the other team is good. The bloopers, the bleeders, those little hits that they got. Again, you tell pitchers, like, dude, that's baseball. So if we're getting frustrated at all, then it should be that we chose to be a part of a baseball team and play the game of baseball. That's the only frustration, because all this other stuff comes with it. So I encourage these guys, and it's very important when you play baseball and you play a long season, you don't dwell on it. You don't dwell on it. You take from it, you learn from it. You know, tomorrow we'll come out, we'll take ground balls, we'll give the guys the reps they need. They may make some adjustments as far as their approach in the box, you know what I mean? And then pitchers will be reminded again, hey, first inning, okay? You can lose a game in the first inning, absolutely, if you lose control of it. But throughout the whole game, we've got to throw strikes, we've got to compete, we got to pitch inside, and you got to keep rhythm of the game so that the offense can stay in rhythm, and the bats will come alive later in the game.
It's awesome. And playing State College, like I played them last weekend. State College, the sweep. Said it's so tough to sweep teams. Same team a week ago, week now. So obviously very tough playing them and trying to.
It's tough to
go
sweep
back
a
at
team.
'em.
We did it, but it's even harder to beat a team 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it's like, of course, we expect to beat everybody. We want to, but again, it's just it's a marathon type of thing where you're like, okay, you got us again. But I think both dugouts know, we know, and I think the other dugout knows too. Like, you're not going to see the same team tomorrow. Like, you're going to see, you know, what they saw last week in State College, these last couple games.
Yeah. A couple more here outside of baseball. Tonight was striking out cancer night in the ballpark. Had a great moment in the 6th inning there. The whole ballpark stood up with the signs, names on there, trying to, where people for cancer were fighting for. And obviously, manager for State College, Tim Battle, had cancer, beat it. Talk on the night, and Tim Battle had cancer.
It was a great night. It was kind of, you know, I want to say a little bit of irony because, you know, Tim Battle being here, having beaten cancer, you know, all the people obviously that have been affected with cancer indirectly and directly. Clayton Johnson, who was pitching the 6th, he just lost his mother to cancer. So there's a lot of heavy hearts about it when you think about it, and how cancer it just keeps touching people in different ways, you know, and it's like, you really do want to say F cancer, you know what I mean? You really do.
100%.
Oh, sorry, I'm just watching the Dodgers.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's one of those things where the Trent Thunder front office, they do it right, and it's classy, and the way they did that stuff tonight was awesome. So
it's awesome. And you having your family in town and bringing up, how much does that mean to you? You're here right now, California?
Yeah, they're here from California for a week. My 2-year-old, well, he's almost 2. He's been able to run around the clubhouse. You know, he's been able to be in the dugout. I've grabbed him in the dugout during the game just to give the guy some love. So for me, I mean, nothing makes my heart more warm than to see him around the baseball game. I was able to do that with my older boys a little bit when they were younger, but as a player. So now as a manager, it gives me a whole nother perspective, and it makes me feel good. I'm grateful to have him here. I'd hate to see him go.
Yeah, I hear you. That's awesome. It's really awesome, and appreciate your time as always. Again, Thunder, tough one tonight, 9-1, but right back at it tomorrow night here, 6 o'clock first pitch versus State College Spikes. Sean Chacon, manager. Trenton Thunder. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Thank you, Travis. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right on, bro. Thank you, man.
Of course.